So, T-Chan, welcome back.
Hello, Jab. How are you?
Good, good, good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
let's. Mm-hmm.
so we've been holding it off for a bit. I say we start this discussion with some honey lemon soda. We got 4 episodes,
Okay.
and so we should probably just discuss a few of the major key points in episode one, and so on and
Mm-hmm.
so forth.
Yes. Yes.
Um, okay, so
Let's dive in. Mm-hmm.
so on episode one, what are your overall thoughts on Ishimori? You know, the main girl.
I don't mind the shy girl and the popular guy. I don't. I mean, it's kind of like play out through, like it's always like the guy who's the popular one and the girl who's like timid and so. But I like the theme, the whole lemon soda. I thought how they're making it, about that or, in there. It's very interesting. I like that he's he's really like he doesn't take interest in no one and then he's doing this for her in a way that everyone can tell that that it's special, especially yeah. And then I like that this is helping people get to know her because she was being called a stone and it just seemed like she was just
Tony.
too slow at reacting and at keeping up with the activity. So so it's nice that someone pushes her, or waits for her to like
Yeah,
react like that. So it's I like it. I love um romance. So
yeah. I gotta say,
that
right? For me, it seemed very
I like the group friends. Hmm?
yeah, it seemed very Kimi no Tidoki, right, or whatever. You know, for me to you,
Mm,
kind of like that,
okay. Okay. Yeah.
but
Hmm.
in a way, except for the guy being like a complete sweetheart, this guy's actually
Right.
trying to get her
That's a
to,
good. That's a good summary. Like quick summary of
yeah.
something.
Um,
Yeah. Of it.
but and like you said, I love the how the girl's like slowly coming into her own. Like you said, they called her Stony back, and you can tell like it's really
Hmm.
like affected her to a degree,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like it almost made like her whole personality going forward. Where she just did
Hmm.
not try to associate just with anybody, or like maybe she it was like we later find out that maybe she always wanted help but just didn't have that little catalyst that
Hmm.
pushed her to get to ask for help, which I love
Right.
that Kai in the first episode, he kept trying to like poke at her, like, tell me tell me that you need help,
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That is also the part that I like about how he interacts with her. Like he doesn't go around helping people, but you can obviously tell that he's going out of his way to help her. Like so.
Yeah, and I love that it all started from him seeing her like in the first episode, like, at the beginning kind
Mm-hmm.
of cry, and kind of like since then on, like he's the one that, first of all, he was the one that initiated her to like want to go to this other school,
Right.
because I think her grades were good enough to like attempt a private, but because of how she completely bombed the exam, because of
Mhm.
all the trauma she's faced through these kids, right?
Mhm.
But even
Yeah.
since from the first episode, he's been like the catalyst for her to like change, and that's something she's always wanted. And now
Mhm.
because of him, she's able to do it. And it's kind of like in the same way, like I said, like Kimi Tinodoki, right? Where it was because of the guy that she wanted to change, but the guy was, but unlike the Kimi Todoki, in this one, like this guy's actually pushing her, like
Right.
he's not like holding her hand per se.
Mm-hmm.
And I yeah, I think
Yeah,
those.
so the first episode was really, really impactful to see because obviously we're seeing that she's not being liked at her old school. The other guy's the whole opposite there. He's being followed by by classmates, and they, you know, happen to just come across each other, and and then she make the choice, like you said, to follow him, kind of thing, to like go to the same school. But he kind of did hint it though. He kind
Yeah,
of, like he made it kind of like, oh, I'm going there. I can see you there. Like that.
yeah,
Like if you like, or if you're going there, then we're gonna see each other, kind of thing.
yeah. That's why I said he kind of initiated her since then, right?
Mm-hmm.
To like make that
Mm-hmm.
change, which really good way to like introduce this the kind of dynamic that these two are gonna have, and
Mm-hmm.
especially, and it gets like even better like in episode 2, right?
Right.
No,
When the other friends come in, especially when we see those bullies from her, that they were calling her Stony, the guy and the two girls, and
yeah.
yeah, that was. I'm glad that he intervened to that, and um, shame them, and yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I like how um hold on, let me get my note. Okay, so I love how she's starting to like develop also like other friendships with the other group members,
With the
right?
girl.
Yeah, Endu,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Um it was kind of funny when she thought that they weren't friends, so she asked her to be a friend, and it's like, oh shit,
Right.
we're already friends.
Right. That was cute. Yes.
Um but like you said, this is where we just kind of get introduced to where the fact that Kai's like a super popular guy and stuff.
Right.
And but the really juicy parts I think come like towards the end, where it's kind of like she's trying to like um go home, and Kai's kind of like trying to like get her to go home, but he's also like pushing her to. He's like, okay, well, I kind of pushed you to change, so now it's up to me to like make sure all your dreams come true.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that there was that one friend that was kind of like, I think you're kind of cute, like kind of like side, and he kind of like noticed that he was trying to like get kind of too close to her, so that's why he kind of like
Mm-hmm.
grabbed her and pushed her along. And like this is where like he turns one of her most insecurities into like a personal moment, right? Because she's like, yeah, he's like, yeah, you are kind of stoned, but you're not just any kind of stone. You're like a
A
gemstone.
gem. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
And go ahead.
you are a gemstone. Yeah. That was cute.
Yeah, and
It really, like you did say, like you mentioned too about the first episode, how she kind of molded into the the nicknames,
yep,
like she felt she was getting in people's ways, and she was kind of like just there, and people didn't really like even acknowledge her there, kind of thing.
yep,
Kind of like uh came into play with it, like kind of like came in, and him saying that to her makes her came into play with that, like that perspective. It seems like she just gets very influenced by people, easily. So
I mean, I think this also just has to do with the fact that she hasn't really had any real interactions till now, right? Like most of her
mhm.
interactions have just been like people putting her down, and not necessarily like people trying to pick her up. So
Right,
so maybe
right.
now that Kai's like the one that's he's not he's picking her up, but in a way he's doing it where she has to do it herself first. So whatever he tells her is like the way he wants her to see herself, and that's causing her to want to live up to that expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I gotta say that was very smooth because after that she realized, yeah, I think I'm falling in love with this guy,
Right.
and it's like I hope that at the end of like all of my dreams, like I'll be able to actually tell him my final one, and that's like where she's gonna confess that she loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean you kind of see it, right? Like it's been just because just the way he's very attentive towards her, like always looking out for her, like you, it's just those little things that she's noticed, and like even other people are kind of like noticing about Kai, right?
Right.
That he's actually
I
like
know, like the other girls,
mm-hmm.
the other fan, like yeah, her other friends, his other friends, I should said, his other girlfriends,
Yep. And even the guy, right? Because the guy was kind
and
of like,
even the guy, those comments the guy was giving, I really like, to tell you the truth.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel like he was, I don't know, trying to mansplain it, like we would say,
I mean, we are definitely getting he's definitely, I feel like he's the other guy friend that's interested in Ishimori, that's taking notice of
Mhm.
Ishimori, is really gonna come into play probably like later in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean he put
Guy.
I forget his name, the other good looking guy, the tall one, the one with black hair.
But he doesn't really put attention to her like in or two. I thought that was the guy that I was saying that I did not like how she was explaining to him about Kai, about the guy, about the blondie.
And I don't know. I
Like he
mean,
was like,
because I kind of like
um,
started noticing it in episode 2 when they were like together with Kai. That's the guy I'm talking about. Because he was the one that was trying to steal a bit of more time with from Ishimori, even though Kai like brushed him off. But I guess we can get into another. Once he comes more into
yeah,
play, we'll talk about him more. But
yeah. Well, I
yeah,
didn't like the comments he was making about Kai.
yeah, we'll definitely
She
get
felt like
it.
he was mansplaining while
Mm,
he was still like,
mm-hmm.
you don't need to explain for him. Like, oh,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah, not doing himself any favors there. Okay,
yeah.
let's get into like episode 3, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so this is like where we they're taking a school trip, I believe, right? Like I think that's like
Yeah,
the main focus of it.
the hike. Mm-hmm.
Yep, the big hike where she comes in with like survival's backpack.
She was so uniform too.
Yeah, and everybody's just like in regular clothes or like school clothes.
Regular uniforms. What she's all like, gym uniforms. Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah,
But she's
yeah,
like,
she's a very reliable one, right?
right.
I do like that you know, this is like where we kind of see her really notice how others interact with Kai, right? And how Kai interacts with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And she's noticed like how like really how everybody's just trying to get Kai's attention.
I know, right?
Yeah, like even like one of the girls like supposedly accidentally slips, right?
Right.
And I think the only reason why
And the girl that switched the signs just to make her look bad.
yeah, I,
Everything is just so fucked.
yeah,
High school though.
yeah.
People.
I will say what I do like about this episode is when they get the sweet change, right? The seat changes right
Oh
before
yeah.
they, and like she notices how like just her being beside Kai's kind of opening up so many doors for her, like as far as like
Mm-hmm.
socializing goes.
Mm-hmm.
And she just says like this seat is magical, right? And I thought that was like very like very powerful because it was kind of like this is where she's gonna take a stand to actually like change, right? Funny enough, it's like
Right.
changing with the change of seats, right?
Uh-huh.
Very um very ironic, and this is also where she kind of notices a side of Kai that nobody really knows, and that's like
Hmm.
the his sleepyhead vibes, whatever, right? And
Right. And his hat for his sleepy head.
yeah, which I thought, it was like it was a nice touch. I didn't really pay too much attention. I'm just like, it's just a guy with a hat. Uh,
Yeah.
and they're like, no, no, no. There's an actual reason for him wearing hats.
Hmm.
Uh, very, very nice. But yeah, the hiking thing. I think this just serves to kind of like really just kind of like she's hiking, they're hiking, but the the other thing that's hiking up with them is also like her emotions for Kai. Like I feel like as they're, you know,
Okay.
like as they keep going and going, and you just see Kai just constantly like make sure she's okay, and it's just
Right.
she's I think she's even coming to a
True.
point where she's kind of saying like, this is where she
Did
finds
you
out.
see how he pushed him when he was like, "Calm down,"
Yeah,
like, like, relax, and she's like, ah! She just kept like there.
yeah. No, yes, the episode 4, that was a great part. I mean, we can. And I guess the last thing I really wanna discuss on episode 3 before we talk about that push,
Hmm.
is the fact that everybody's saying that everybody goes through a Kai crush in this one,
Oh
right?
yes. Uh-huh.
So now it's kind of like,
It was, but I mean, we can figure that out. But they did say it out.
yeah, we could figure that out, but like I think just the fact that she heard it, it kind of like it's almost felt like that was them trying to diminish like her love for Kai, or like it made
Right.
her question whether this was just a phase she was gonna go through, and then eventually she was
Right.
gonna come
Mhm.
out.
Totally. It definitely did. I totally agree with
and
you.
and that was like
Mm.
the last really good juicy bits of that episode before they get lost. um yeah, but episode 4, they're lost. Thanks to the
Yeah.
school girl crush girl, whatever. But
Yep.
I I did not like that they made our girl be the scapegoat right off the bat.
Not just that, but did you even see the other girl crying and calling her mom?
Yeah, yeah, that was hilarious. Oh my god. And it was what made it worse is like it's actually in the rain, and there was like
Right.
it was one of those things that Kai's very smart, where he was like, yeah, don't go run off and be stupid. Like we gotta stick together so we don't get lost, even more lost.
Yep.
Luckily for them, Ishimori does find a way to like get him some nice cover with the bridge. And finally, her huge ass backpack came into play, which I thought was like really,
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah, it was. I'm like, wow, she's just handing out everything: towels, candy,
Uh-huh.
water. Very, very nice. And obviously, that was like the first like half of the episode. So now like the other part, which is like the more juicier part, where like she comes back and her desk is full of like sweets and treats, right? Because everybody's like, damn,
Mhm.
you really helped us out back there. Here, this
Yeah.
is from everybody, right? So now it's just
Yeah, that was very cute.
yeah. So it's not just showing like how her own like actions are now like coming back, right? And
They're being noticed. Yeah.
they're being noticed, not just by Kai, but like everybody's taking notice of her.
Hmm. They
And
even did something like that too. Like, oh, we never realized how dependable she was, how caring and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then we get into like a little part of it, right, where they were like trying to share like middle school pictures.
Oh yes, that was cute.
Yeah, and it almost, like like what I wrote down for that was kind of like when they asked her right about it,
Uh-huh.
she almost felt reluctant because it was kind of like, I think it still holds a very traumatic past for her. So like
Mm-hmm.
she was very hesitant to like show that at first because it's opening her past self to them with how she was stony and whatnot, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it I almost felt like she wasn't even gonna go through with it, and then I did like that the other students kind of took notice of how her body language changed for a bit,
Uh-huh.
and they didn't really push her to like do it, but she ended up trying to do it in the end. But she got sick because she was out in the cold rain the other day.
Yeah. Looking for it.
Mm. And once again, the her connections with her new friends are just they're there showing her support, and I love how Kai like tricks her by like getting Endo to call her first, and then he snatches the phone from her to talk to her.
Mhm.
Very so
Oh yeah, that was very cute. That the girl was. He kind of. I think he kind of noticed that she was kind of avoiding him too. Oh
yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
that was very cute. And then he figured out. She figured out that they were outside.
yeah.
Yeah, that was very nice.
Yeah, and so we can talk about the guy and how he tried to badmouth Kai.
Yeah, it was just weird. I felt like not much mouth mathing Kai, but mouth mathing their relationship. But and I guess it's called pride. Um, I don't want to say mocking, but it was pretty much mocking it.
Almost belittling it.
Yeah, yeah, belittling it.
Yeah, which I do like that it.
Like, like you're just like his new toy, or you're just something interesting, or something unusual that he got interested in, something like that. That kind of tone, that kind of undertone.
Yep.
Like don't grow a big head, kind of thing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I think it was because he's also taken interest in her, and he doesn't not.
Oh yeah, you were saying that.
Yeah, and how I think just the fact that it's Kai, he has no chance. First of all, right? He's just given her like a whole new world, and
Mm-hmm.
I think because he was attacking Kai, he felt attacked in a way because the Kai's done nothing but like open her up to this new
Mm-hmm.
experiences, new people she met, like making her want to be her best self, and in a way belittling
Right.
Kai is kind of belittling the change she's having for herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, I
Think
mean
necessary.
Kai's very sweet. He gives her a candy finally, the last one. You know, um, and I think that just like makes her even like fall more in love with him. I think she says right.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love that she points out that even though this whatever Kai does right, or no matter what happens at the end of like the journey that they're going, even if it's like with pain or if she ends up hurt, she still can't help but fall in love with him and will continue
Mm-hmm.
to carry on. I think that was very very nice, which I hope it doesn't. You know,
No, it doesn't. It's obvious.
ye- yeah. But I guess the last one before we can move
Oh
on.
my god, although the new girl coming in play
Yeah, that.
means that it was his ex or something.
Yep. Apparently, it's his ex. Yep.
Oh my god. No, it's definitely like from me to you, like Kimi to
Yeah,
Doke.
yeah, right. I told you,
Yeah, it really is. No, it really is. Now that
dude.
you take a closer look and consider it.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it is. It is what it is. Like I called it how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that's all
Wait for
we.
the next episode.
Yeah, finally, we're on to. We're gonna be onto something else. But yeah, that's it for Honey Lemon Soda. So Doctor Stone,
Mm-hmm.
pretty, pretty interesting, right? We are finally on our way to the Americas, and
Yes.
what better way to head to the Americas than with a good old, clash between people, right? Because we have nice, uh, a very nice fake duel that was kind of like a duel,
Mm-hmm.
right? In a casino
The
style.
poker. Yeah, the poker.
Yeah, the poker face
Mm-hmm.
off. Obviously,
Yeah.
Senku gets uh, what's her name? Kohaku,
Uh-huh.
and Risui gets Gen. Very I won't lie,
I
ve-
mean,
it was very nice to an extent, right? But it was also kind of like,
mhm,
okay, we can just kind of like get this over with, like we need to.
mhm.
You didn't really need.
Have to do all this, yeah.
Yeah, but
Kind of.
they really didn't need to do all this because as we find out in at the later on, this was like the whole setup was kind of just all planned.
It was just an act.
Yeah, it was just an ad. Well, minus the game. They did say the game was real, but
Yeah.
they were gonna go to the shorter route. They just needed. I think what was really good was just that they needed an excuse for people to feel like they worked up something, right, and had like a reward at the end, right? Because as
Mm-hmm.
Risui said, like there's no point in going in this like tour if there's not gonna be like a if nobody's having fun. So this was just
Right.
a nice way for them to like cut back and enjoy, have a drink at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, it was nice.
yeah, it was nice. Francois, obviously the bartender, clutch as
Yes, the
fuck.
chef. Mm-hmm. Coming in as a clutch with things.
With he's just like the was it like the one man do all, like the jack of all trades. That's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. A butler.
A butler, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was pretty much the entirety of
I love when it was making all the drinks, everyone's special drinks.
yes, in episode 2. Yep.
Yeah, compared to their personality.
Yeah, I
But
really love that too.
yeah, it was. I love her. She.
Yeah, so I don't think
Uh-huh.
I don't think Francoise has like a gender actually. Like they never, or maybe they're just like, what is it like, gender fluid, whatever, right? Any gender fits them.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Mhm.
interesting to think about. Um, but I love that Senku doesn't drink alcohol. He's just kind of like nope.
Right.
So he gets his own, like you said, his own like non-alcoholic beverage or very light.
Matcha too.
Yep.
Yeah, there's matcha. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting parts we find about here is just in episode 2 is like the way that people navigate in the past, or like we sort of knew, but like it just gets like brought back to us, like in case we forgot. And I love the little training montage we had, like with everybody that's like fighter.
Yeah. Hmm.
Even like Jinro was getting in it, which was kind of like a nice like change of pace, right? Because he's always the one that like runs away or like cowards away.
Hmm.
And no, um, I it's insane how they keep track of it because I think they have to keep relaying to Japan every hour, and then it's just Senko doing his like computer math, just like super brain math, whatever.
Hmm.
And then episode 2 just ends with them like finally seeing America.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
these
Made
first
it.
yeah these first 2 episodes were just pretty much set up for episode 3. Uh, so episode 3 is really where it starts like kind of like kick off a bit. Um, what were your favorite parts of episode 3?
How they kind of planned out the exploration, they divided them in 3 groups.
Yep.
You know, one to stay at the base, the fighter group, and then the science group.
Yep.
I really like the part of the crocodiles.
Yes. How they were like
Hilarious. Yes. How they were thought that they could like intimidate them, and then they ended up intimidating them, and then they ended up getting burgers out of it. It was
it's like very American to just make
Mhm.
crocodile burgers. Of course,
Yes.
like since we're in America, we obviously have to have a cheeseburger.
Yes. Yes. I love that. It was great. That was one of my favorite part. And the fact that they figure out that their wildest dreams is just could be, which is the whole cornfield already be there, like already farm and develop. Just
Yeah,
have to kind of like harvest it.
yeah. So I will say though, right? One of my favorite parts about this, right, is like obviously we didn't really think about it much because we were like kind of secluded to just where Senku was in the
Mhm.
previous seasons. But this one just pretty
Right.
much lays it out like if there was hope that there was civilizations elsewhere, there really was none. Because there was, they get into the Americas and there was like everybody there was also turned to stone. So like even if
Mhm.
they held hope that it only hit Japan,
Yeah, yeah. How Senku said it. Yes, it did say that.
now it's pretty much confirmed with their own eyes that no, this hit the
Mhm.
entire world.
Correct.
Yeah, and I guess we get to the most interesting part of this episode, which is just gonna kick off the real start of this
Saga.
final
Mhm.
saga of Doctor Stone. There's a hunter with a machine
Right.
gun. That how did you react when you first saw the machine gun being used?
It was really, really, crazy. Like damn. It was like the conquerors and the and the natives, kind of como una conquista,
Yeah,
could
right.
be. So, but these natives were scientists, so
Yeah, I think what the
see it put them at foot with their conquistadores,
yeah, I think what I really liked about this episode, right? It put into like perspective that we thought Senku was
Uh-huh.
the only one that was able to like break himself free,
Mm-hmm.
and then this episode just told us, oh no, there was another person that was able to do the same thing Senku was,
Hmm. Yeah.
which we get to meet in episode 4.
Yeah.
We meet Dr. Sino and Stanley. Give me your thoughts on them.
Um, they were great. They were amazing. I thought it was a woman for the longest when he had the mask.
Uh,
Just a, really,
yeah,
just because the stick and the cigarette, but obviously, like Jen, I was very impressed by his physique. You could tell that, and I liked his comment to Jen that he could tell that he was no warrior
yep,
when he passed on because of his physique.
yep.
And the doctor, as Jen also said, it's interesting to see that it's an adult because that makes him more of a professional. You know, like had
Yeah.
more of a profession in the science. So yeah, I love how Jen just infiltrates, you know, like sneaks in and like
Infiltrates, yeah.
infiltrates. Yeah, it's gonna make
Yeah.
it good.
I love that, right? Because as
Mhm.
we're seeing Jen being taken away, he's just taking notice of, oh, you got a cornfield. Oh, you got
Mhm.
cows. Oh, you got a factory.
Mhm.
Oh, you probably have another plane. These are all,
Yes.
this is just like
Oh,
all good.
God.
Like you're just seeing it. It's just like you're so cunning, right? Like who
Uh-huh.
else would pretend to be taken away and just be able to do it masterfully, right?
Uh-huh.
Um, but no, yeah,
It's gonna turn. He's gonna turn it around
yeah, um,
so good that it's gonna be nice to
yeah.
watch. You
All right. So I've been waiting for like the longest for these two to be
know?
animated because they are really good, like really good
Mhm.
villains all the way through. Um,
Mhm. And they're villains. They
yeah, they
don't
kill,
become.
they kill.
They don't become. They don't become alliance.
Uh, no
I thought.
spoilers.
I thought for a moment they could become alliance, but a lot of the people that are there used to be enemies.
Yeah, I mean it's just Senko has a way of like drawing people to him, right? I feel like just the way he carries himself and just him overcoming things
So
and
that's why I assume it was going to happen. They're gonna. So we'll see.
yeah, we'll
Or
see.
villain.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with them, but I do like how Senku has some really quick thinking, right? When they're like being chased by the airplane. Which, by the way, we learned that they have way bigger technology than Senku, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense given that what Gan said, right? This is a adult, probably has more years in the field, but this is really the
Mm-hmm.
first time we're gonna see Senku really tested, at least, uh, meant not like with his brain power, right? This is the one person that's probably
Mm-hmm.
gonna either be able to surpass him or at least, or that Senku's gonna have to try to match, like somebody he's actually seemingly having to catch up to. Because in the previous ones, he's just been able to like kind of whistle his way through his sheer knowledge and quick thinking. But now he's they're at a disadvantage, which is a really good way to start the saga. I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Another um empire of science or like kingdom of science, like they call
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Imagine Senku gets to take all these, which I love the little silly faces they made when they were taking the plane that
it.
crashed.
Oh yeah. Yes,
uh,
that was
oh my
that
god.
was a good way to show them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last the last thing, Jen pretty much put Taiju as the leader.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
So the big muscle heads is what everybody thinks is what Sino thinks is the leader, or you know, well, Sino does say he's either telling the truth or he's very good at
A very
lying.
good line. Mm-hmm.
So we'll we'll see
We'll see. We'll
we'll see
see.
how they feel about it. But I think that's it for Dr. Stone, right? You got anything
Yeah,
else? No. Okay.
that's it.
All right. Let's move on to something else. FruitMaster.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 episodes. So we finally get to see the crew go into their first S class quest, right?
Yeah,
How do you feel? How did you feel when you heard that there's like
it
no
was
info?
fun.
There's no info on it.
It was I was just not, expecting anything really. I just thought I even thought it was gonna be more of a dungeon. Ended up being like a castle and things like that, like an abandoned like place, like an abandoned castle.
Yeah.
So it was, I like that episode because a lot of things were happening in a way that people were disappearing, like heroes were not coming back, and then there was a legend about like one of the biggest heroes and how like in Mirror, MC, how I really like that little explanation they did at some point during that episode where he says that just like heroes get admired and giving compliments and admirations, they as well get criticism and fear and shut down because of fear and things like that. And people can turn on you.
Yeah.
We've seen serious people, authors taking view on this of heroes too, like I quit hearing, or I I got kicked out of the party and things like that, so
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I really liked about this, like these 3 episodes, right? Kind of like one, it was the fact that like in episode 3, kind of like because they were facing off against zombies, right? So obviously there were people, and
Mm-hmm.
before even knowing what was happening, Light does take one out, and then it comes to
Mm-hmm.
realize that these are like the people that went missing. So in a way now,
Right.
Light is kind of contemplating whether him slashing them or like essentially like killing them for good is, you know, he's kind of like toying with like whether that's moral or not, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
contemplating whether it's moral, I should say, not toying. And I thought that was like a really nice way to show that he he does care like about like life and stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously Lena's the one that's like has to be like, don't hesitate, right? The best we can do for them is bring them peace now that they're being used like this, right?
Yeah.
And we find out
That's
who
terrible.
yeah, it was very terrible. And it we find out that it's the Black Swan that was doing this.
Yeah, that bad chick was hot
I can fix her.
too. Yeah. Yeah. She was good.
Yeah, I love her character design. And you know I do like that because during this fight that when she was like finally in the fray, Ayla was more, her abilities were more suited, right? Because she was telling them info and like, oh, these monsters have skills, these monsters can only do one thing, right? So on and so
Right.
forth. Like she became a very useful person in the fight,
Mm-hmm.
even though she wasn't really like a combatant.
Yes. Yes. It was, yeah.
And
To
in a
see that they won. It was interesting how they won too. It didn't, that it was her plan, it was her idea in a way
yeah,
to bring the more fruits. I
well,
think you know this from the last time that he could, he was gonna be able, more fruits and get more.
yeah. I mean, it writing in the wall. Like once they introduce
Yeah.
something, you just kind of figured, well, if it didn't like have any negative effects, they're probably gonna do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But um, so it was very interesting seeing it, right? Because it was kind of like he can eat as many fruits as he wants, just not like in a shorter span of time before,
Yeah. Right.
because
They,
he ate two, and he did not necessarily die, but he did like come up with like a fever or something.
uh-huh.
Uh, but the other interesting part, right, was like Lena and how she was struggling the same way Light was when she found her old like companions, right, or the ones that were like teaching her how to be an adventurer and stuff. Like she ended up facing their zombie corpses, and she did not know whether she was gonna be able to like actually kill them, and then eventually,
Yeah, her old peeps, her old friends.
yeah,
Yeah, that was sad.
yeah, and I mean it came. She came through in the end. She realized the best way is to bring on peace. Like which is like pretty much what she should do. As the only S class adventurer, take that responsibility. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, her Light's new abilities. How do you feel about the abilities that he got
The fairy is the only cool one, which I knew he was gonna get because you see her in the
in the opening?
opening. Yeah, and I think you even. Oh no, that's in another anime. In the intersection, like in the pictures in the like between the commercials,
Yeah,
they give little hints too there.
yeah. I definitely like the one about like him hardening the.
But I don't know about just being able to put people to sleep, fairy. Like, damn.
I'm sure he's gonna eat another food and he's gonna
Get
um
another fairy.
or just be able to like change the effects the fairy has, something like that. Like maybe
That would actually make it kind of cool.
yeah, because like there's still paralysis, poison, man. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of like the frame filler. Where he got all those status effects.
Hmm.
That fairy can just become that guy. Um, but yeah, they killed the wicked dragon.
Yeah,
Six
they did. I really liked that she was fast at picking up
the scale.
the scale. Yeah,
Yeah, good on her.
gonna be a purpose for for that,
Yeah, I
and it
mean,
was
go
it
ahead.
was against them, against the the authority or whatever, the people that do that to her in a way.
Yeah, so episode 5 we finally meet all the highest
Hmm.
authority people. Of course the Holy Sister is one of them, the one that's on the
Of
very tip.
course, we
Yeah,
knew she was, but it was nice to kind of see where she falls.
yeah, we knew she would be there, but not we didn't know if she was going to be like the top of the top. But given the
And
fact
she is.
yeah, and given the fact that she sent
You
the blood.
know, it
But
was kind of sorry, but it was kind of crazy. The appraisal couldn't appraise her,
yeah,
and she kept like, being so confused about that. Like I'm because she's an appraisal too, so it's like I don't know.
yeah, I definitely think the Holy Sister has more than one ability or more than one skill.
Uh,
Either that.
she sees, but she's able to see this multiple abilities. No, I thought she was.
Yes, she is. She has the same appraisal skill, but also I feel like, or maybe if you get the appraisal skill high enough, you can't get other people to praise you. So
Uh,
maybe something like that.
maybe.
But you're right. It was very interesting that Isla wasn't able
Uh-huh.
to.
They're gonna do something up. They're gonna, make something of it. So,
Oh, for sure. And
see.
I love, by the way, Lena. This episode was amazing
Mhm.
because she straight up asked her like, you know who these people are,
Yep.
and she's like, well, I only send like 100 plus every year, to get skills. So
Oh,
like,
I know.
so like,
I
like
know.
to say that I know somebody after meeting them once, it's kind of like a far fetch. It's just like okay,
I
and
know, right? Lena tried, but She knows, like she said, she has a starting point at least. So they give her
Yeah,
a
yeah, and they do right. I think the dragon skill that she picked up was able to get them like a decent start, right?
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Or be unnegotiable because she was trying to destroy his like the party.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
she was trying to disband them.
And just ban them. That's stupid beach.
Yeah, and and of course, Light was kind of like, you know, it doesn't matter like whether we're here or not. You know, like we'll still gonna go on adventures and stuff. So I thought that was,
Mhm.
of course, he shows up at the end. You know, like trying to save the day, but you know, then it's just like okay, they get another S rank mission,
Mhm.
and of course, it's either like you do this or you're disbanded. Obviously, they're gonna do it,
Right. Right.
and I think this is gonna lead it to
I like his enthusiasm though.
yeah,
Oh, great. I'm going to, get noticed, for this and blah 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 blah.
yeah. I love that now
Him.
he's still like pursuing this, even though like he has like you said like in the previous episode he has that in the back of his mind whether you know he's gonna turn out to be a freak and people are gonna be scared of him and all this other stuff.
Mhm.
I like that he's still pushing past his own like fears and just going
Right.
to do what he wants to do and then just let things happen as they go.
Yeah, me
Hmm.
too.
Okay.
Definitely gonna see his journey.
Yeah. Um. Last thing. Last thing on the fruit skill.
Mhm.
Do you think the runaway one of the runaway people or the runaway girl is gonna be a new member? I think so, right? Because
Mhm.
I think she's part of the opening.
Yeah, I don't know. Couldn't speculate
Okay.
about that.
Well,
But we'll see in the next episode. Hopefully,
yeah.
and more of one. Yeah,
Yeah. And
Benny.
yeah. Surprisingly, this show has been like has been pretty fun, but it has like, you know, like we talked a bit about it. And it does have some points that are just kind of like, we can really think about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'll be it for FruitMaster. Um,
Yeah. Medalist.
Medalist. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So 2 episodes. We're starting with episode 3. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so we're having Sukasa enter uh Inori
Mm-hmm.
into a competition right off the bat. How do you feel about that?
Yes. That they're making the good decision. How you feel about it? I think that's a good choice.
I definitely
Just
feel
like they explain that by her age she needs to like rack up the points and recognition. So, what more than competition?
yeah, I
Um,
definitely first off I wasn't sold on it right off the bat, but like I forget that she has like a year left before she hits middle school, and then that's when her mom's supposed to like, you know, cut her off.
mhm,
And I'm like, okay, well, this is really like the only way you're gonna be able to like convince her or like have a
mhm,
shot at convincing
right.
her. So, uh, I love that she's good enough to like now try to get a routine right, but she just can't seem to get it right, and she feels like I love that it's more Inori's still like kind of like because she's obviously new to this. She's still gonna have a lot of anxiety and a lot of nerves when it comes to like performing, and it really showed like during the first initial practice where Sukasa kind of had like step in for a bit and actually like really like show her how it's done.
Right.
And
Yeah. She thought he could. she could hit in his shadow and brought him more in the spotlight. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, she's seen him. Obviously, he's done a lot of work, right, to get to where he's at, and even he's not like winning competitions like that, but because he's put in all the effort to get to where he's at, and he's like at a much higher level than her, it's kind of like showing her, this is something you can easily
Well,
get.
he's won competition.
Well, he's won like one, I think, with the partner.
I don't. I think they only mentioned that he her as a partner, but we don't know if he's won any other. So, but yeah, the one with her coach,
Yeah.
they did. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. This is kind of like obviously showing in Inori this is what you could aspire to. This is something you can
Yeah.
do. And just Tsukasa just being like the best coach ever. Like showing her the ropes. Obviously, like there's a lot of like jealous parents that she's getting such a in close coaching that this is the only time I think he ever gets in there. But just love the how much attention he brings to himself, and that's what like really takes away the some of the pressure from Inori, where she's not in the spotlight as much. And uh, we can talk about the little brat, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a new character. Nice. How at the beginning, it seemed that it was going to, you know, long lasting friendship, and
Yes.
like a rival, like rivals and stuff. But seems like the girl switched up on her and real quick. As soon as. But you know what? I was very, very proud of her standing up to her, because obviously um they watch the episode, the reason why we tell her as a brat is because she's not respecting her coach, and they have this really toxic in a way relationship, and loud.
Yeah.
And obviously Nori's like the opposite with the dude. She's more of a good student type, and she was being told to do something for her coach, and the brat wanted her to ignore him, and she stood her ground that that's not the way that she does things, that is the way that it works for her, but this way it's been working for her, so
Yeah.
go with it. And I really, really respected that. I felt like the mom, you know, when she had that realization in the next, you know, um, that I came to realize that this girl might be, stronger than she, that it meets the eye kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I just to add on to what you said about her and like Mike, right? They're kind of like foils one another, right? Obviously, one is so skilled at such an early age that she feels like she knows better than the coach, and that's why she's not listening.
right.
And Inori is like in the opposite end, where she's at the last end of like where she can start, and she doesn't feel adequate enough to like really be doing things on her own. That's why she relies on Tsukasa to like help her, you know.
Yep.
So I love that duality between the two. And another
I,
thing about it, right, is the way Tsukasa coaches her, right? Because there is they know that the girl does like this crazy trick, like this double jump, right, or whatever. And basically, Tsukasa tells Sonori, the way I see it, if you want to win, you gotta be able to land this. So I'm gonna give you two options. and he's like, we can either focus on your fundamentals, and then
Mhm.
include the double jump as a last ditch effort, or we can
Yeah,
just attempt to do
very
the
good. That it
we
was
can
a very good metaphor,
yeah and,
making that clear.
yeah, because it was in a way like he did not, like, it was the first time that he asked her to think of something for herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, whatever you choose to do, I'm gonna coach you through that.
Mm-hmm.
And she was hoping that she was making the right choice, right? She didn't want to like disappoint him, point him by like picking the wrong one. He's like, don't worry about what I think, this is, you're the one that's performing. Whatever you choose to do, that's what I'm gonna coach you in.
Yep.
Complete opposite of the other coach that's just letting her do whatever she wants
Mm-hmm.
and not coaching her as tightly, right? Um, but double jump is not in the cards for Inori, sadly, even though her fundamentals are very good. Uh, they end up deciding with the spin jump, right?
Yeah, which is just as like impressive too.
Actually, more impressive because they said that it counts
Yeah,
for
to
even more.
me, yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
Yeah,
right. Except counts for more even points. Good.
that's why they decided to go with it. And now, as the end of episode 3, well, we can talk about the actual competition in episode 4. Oh man,
Yeah, such a good performance.
yeah. Okay, so do we want to talk about the disastrous practice first?
Sure.
Inori's not doing too hot in that practice.
Yeah, yeah, it was really, and especially when I guess because definitely the judges were already like, judging
Yeah,
from the fucking warm up. I don't think that helped.
yeah,
That they should have just let her, yeah, try without knowing that. I mean, she knew she was gonna get judged and taken points or given points by the judges during the performance.
yep.
I wish they would have kept it shut for that part. I feel like maybe it would have given her a better chance to not,
Yeah, it was one of
get
those.
not too nerve wracked.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, she's like a ball of nerves, right? Why you really don't
Mhm.
need to let her know, like, you're being judged right off
Oh
the bat,
yeah.
you know. And the mom is very strong about this portion, right? Because obviously the sister comes back to see her perform.
That was sweet. It was
Yeah,
really
yeah, it was.
sister meet her.
She's in Canada apparently.
Yeah, that was cool too to see that she's in Canada.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, so I really want to talk about like the little girl that sees her, right, when she's like all dressed up and
Oh
stuff,
yes, I know, and
because
I really love that scene because of the moon. Of sees herself
yep.
after that with the moonlight. Oh, it felt Sailor Moon vibes. Not gonna lie.
Yes, it is.
So.
uh I really love that because it's like she's now actually about to compete, right? And she's seeing this little girl that's like watching her
Mhm.
and is getting
Just like
inspired.
she used to watch her sister. Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I love that. That's what like drove her to like want to confront her mom about it, right?
Mhm.
And how she wants to prove to her and mainly
It
to
was
herself.
really. I like before she realizing the little girl was there and whatever. When she said, "Oh, there she goes. There goes my mom again, protecting me." Like I,
Oh
I like
yeah.
what's happening. Like
Yes.
is trying to like, uh, you know, uh, remove me from the situation before before something happens,
Yeah, like the being the overprotective mother.
Tough. Yeah. Tough.
Yeah, and yeah, and it was like she did it loud enough where somebody else could hear, and the one person that ended up hearing it was, Inori. Surprisingly enough, not surprisingly, but like obviously enough. Um,
Right.
but yeah, she tells her mom, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show you that I have changed, and mainly I want to show myself that I have changed.
Right.
And she like straight up says, I want to be a medalist.
Yes.
Great title drop.
I really like. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Oh, great title drop.
Yep.
Good way to put the title there.
Yeah. And before we get into the match, the little last minute coaching from Tsukasa, really important, right? Where he lets her know, you might fall, just get back up. Like if you fail, that's fine. We're gonna rework this from the beginning.
Right.
So that's really, something, better late than never. She could have used like a few, like, you're gonna fall, just get a little more pep talk in the warm up, but really just shows how he is kind of in tune with Inori, and he knows that she doesn't handle like all this like pressure too well, and really wants
Right.
to realize, no matter what happens, I'm gonna be here for you. This isn't like your end; it's just the beginning. And the performance. How did you feel about it?
It was really great. It was very beautiful. She did so well. I'm glad they let us know what the person got,
Yes.
that they told the score for the person 8 something point something.
Yep.
And here that she got a 12 point something, and then she took place. It was a good, way to see the rank, in a numeric way.
Yep.
So in the performance, I liked that she did fall and she picked herself back up. I think it did work out.
Yes. I definitely agree. I like that she did not let that stop her from performing, which, I hope that's not gonna be like.
And then she pulled a move that she never even practiced. That she only saw him doing once or something.
Well, she did show that she was practicing it, just not in front of him, I think.
Oh yeah, they did show the.
So.
Mm.
But
even surprise him. Yeah. That was interesting. That was good.
Yeah. And of course, that performance, great. The mom though, the mom stuff, just like completely like.
Oh yeah, the whole mom. I'm so glad it just got the mom like on
board.
Right? Yeah, not having to delegate with her. So glad, so happy for my baby.
Yeah, and I love that she's like, I believe in your dreams, and I'm gonna cheer you on.
Yeah,
about
time.
It only took 4 episodes, but let's go, mom. Yeah. What a gem this anime is.
It is. It is. And then I do have this brings me up to the people that died in the crash. There were ice skaters, young people too, like Inori with their coaches.
Yeah.
Just I thought that was very, very sad that, so, my deepest, um condolence to their family and loved ones that lost, stars. That, I was looking at it, kids knew how to ice skate, and watching this anime thinking like, how they know that they need to get serious at such a young age, and
Yeah.
partners and with other kids, like a boy and a, like doing a couple. I just thought it was like, wow, there's people doing it, like there's real people, doing this. This really takes this, art does take after life,
Yeah. For sure.
imitates life, I should say. Art
Yeah.
imitates life, and definitely this art, it's an imitation for all ice skaters,
Yeah.
that that want to do it. It's very. I
Yeah.
thought, yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Definitely
ice
one.
skating is beautiful. Yeah, ice skating is beautiful, and I respect anyone that dedicates, their life to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not something anybody can just pick up and do. And
Uh-huh.
you
Yeah.
know, props to anybody that does it, and props to this anime for really depicting
Yeah.
how this ice
Of
skating
that.
world truly, how cruel and how beautiful it is.
Agreed.
Um, yeah. Um, that'll be it on the medalist. On to something else. Okay. Sakamoto Days.
Mm.
Episode 2. So, we got
This is
in.
when they on the rooftop, right?
Yes,
Like,
this is when we meet Lou. How do you feel
yeah.
about Lou?
Yeah, it was cute. It was cute. I liked how impactful was her statement with actions
Yep.
to kind of just mark their beginning together. I thought it was really, really um nice, like a good way to to explain, what changed, kind of thing, or how it changed completely. Because yeah,
Or we're talking about the backstory with Sakamoto and his wife.
yeah. Her diving into the
Trying to
the
kill
building.
herself.
Yeah, so he knows how painful it is to lose someone that you love.
Yeah, I very powerful message. I
Mm.
do obviously like Sakamoto being Sakamoto. He never thought about it at first, right? Killing is just like
Mm,
a natural thing that comes to him. So he's just like, yeah, I just kill to kill. I make my living killing,
right.
and they they always do say, it always takes like a good woman to change a man. So like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, so romantic.
so yeah. But yeah, we meet the newest member to the family right after this thing. Lu, the
Oh
Chinese.
yes, the Chinese mafia girl.
Yeah,
She-
I do like that. Well, I will say I do like that they kind of introduced her early-ish. Um, I will
Mhm.
say that they did skip over like 2 chapters of the manga,
Okay.
and that was kind of more like, I guess I know why they did it. It's more so because they want to introduce the main cast faster, I guess, and
I guess.
make it more shonen esque, right? As opposed, because these the 2 chapters that they skipped was kind of like um just more antics of Sakamoto with Shin and them having a little more dynamic with one another,
Okay.
and that's where the backstory dropped for the wife and Sakamoto.
Got it.
I do like that they brought it into this episode at least, which was the main, I guess, the main part that you should not like skip over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too mad about it. Um, the pork buns.
Yeah.
Are you willing to kill for pork buns?
Oh my god, that was hilarious. Because I know what the feeling when you like go somewhere specifically for something and God knows why somehow it fucked up, you know? So like you didn't get it, it it sold out, you
Mm,
dropped it, ah, you know, you went to the wrong place. I don't know. Like I know what it feels like to watch it being, yeah. That was hilarious though.
yeah, I
Did he
like.
like hire her to make the buns after that?
Well, he asked her if she could, and she's like yes,
And then hire her to do it?
and then he hired her, and okay, but so the thing about it, right? How did you feel about the random assassins that came to attack?
Kind of feel like that was a trope. I
Like,
seen that in place like often.
so like kind of just like
It
a
was. Yeah.
villain of the week type of thing, right? Like they didn't seem very much of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm glad Lou got her fortune or her loom right. And she, instead of like waiting till she's old enough to drink, she just shared it with the Sakamoto
Mm-hmm.
and Shin. Pretty uh pretty good stuff. Okay. Before I guess we'll wrap up the episode 2 with Sakamoto has a bounty on his head now,
Yeah,
which comes into
definitely. I mean, we were kind of told that he was, and you know, the top mafia that you couldn't do unless you were dead or
yeah,
so.
it wasn't gonna come like at a easy price. So episode 2 kind of focuses in on him being you know, more well, basically with the bounty in his head, you know. Now the people are coming after him, and we meet one of Sakamoto's old buddies, Nagumo. How do you feel about him?
That was fun. I mean, I knew there was something strange.
Because
That was like Sakamoto really. And I like how he bullied the others for not noticing faster. And like I just thought um, he has a good dynamic.
yeah,
So
I like how the first thing that threw them off was the fact that hey, you're kind of talking more than usual, you know,
mm,
and that was like the first hint, and they didn't really put too much into it.
mm-hmm.
And of course, now with the bounties all over there, Sakamoto's head, it's like, okay, we gotta lay low. And then they end up going to like their version of like Disney Park or whatever. Uh, so this is where they bring out also where Sakamoto used to be a member of the Order. What are
Mm,
your thoughts on that?
don't know what the odor is, so I'm not sure.
Take a guess. Just
Yeah, so don't know what that means.
okay.
To me, it's like okay, it's gonna give us more into where he was, kind of thing.
Okay.
It seems like to be a big deal,
He,
which we know because he was a big deal. So
yep. So you would just kind of like put one and two together that people that are part of this are either like close to or like around Sakamoto's like assassin credibility, you know. But okay, the amusement park. What was your favorite part of the amusement park? Because there's like three good.
a lot of it actually. Yeah, there was a lot of parts that were cute. I love the fight on the roller coaster.
Yep.
I loved how he was like, okay, I need to figure out how to up him, one up him. And he thought about going where him and his family was.
Yep.
And then that fight that was happening while the family was kind of like funny, like cool and funny. So
Yeah.
it was good. And then what else?
The pencil stab.
The part that he was like saying how, which it was not that part of him saying it, but the fact that it was what he said, it was what was happening.
Yeah.
That Mr. Sakamoto is just in his biggest mission of all, that is to protect his family.
Yep.
Made that choice, and that he shouldn't be belittled or done anything. So
Yeah. It's one of those things where I believe that Shin also said, like, like, you guys don't know that, like, you kind of fight harder when you have something to protect, right? So even given the fact that Sakamoto used to be like a really good assassin, now that he has something to protect, he's probably gonna be even more dangerous, in Shin's words, right? But yeah, no, like, I love the roller coaster stuff, because, like, how often do you see somebody jump off the roller coaster as is doing like a alley oop just to land back on the seat? That was and yeah, just like casually like tossing yourself out, right, to land on another roller coaster, just being like, oof, that was close. I could have almost died. Yeah, the whole bunny thing where like he was reading Sakamoto's mind to like know what the other guy was doing. So well done. So like, what a good good way to write that stuff. I really enjoy the creativity the author has for this series, and I can't wait to like see like a lot of the other creative parts like actually like come out more, right? Uh, I have heard murmurings though that people do not like the dub, so I don't know. I feel like you would be watching dub. How do you feel about it?
for I don't think I'm watching the dub.
Oh, you're not watching the dub?
No. Oh wait, for
Saka-
no.
Sakamoto?
Oh no, I am watching the dub. I am watching. I liked it. No, it's good. I like it.
Okay, because there are there are people that are saying like like people are not really vibing with loose voice per se,
Mm.
and that this like dub voiceover is kind of like I guess because we just had like a really good dub in Dan Da Dan last season. It's kind of like people are kind of like falling short of it, but like I'm watching it sub, so like I can't really say. But yeah, uh can't wait for you to see the next episode. Is that I know
Oh.
the next episode's gonna have like the main fight, I believe, to end this
Oh.
this amusement park stuff off. But yeah,
That's
that's
looking forward to.
yeah, that's it on Sakamoto. My Happy
Uh,
Marriage.
My Happy Marriage.
Okay, so 3 episodes. Uh,
Mm.
episode 2, we're getting the final say in the Kudo household. You know,
The
uh,
final.
I mean, that's the last time we've seen it in these 3 episodes. I mean, right? I don't know if we're gonna come back to it.
Wait, are you saying that they're saying their goodbyes to
The mother-in-law.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yep.
It, it was it was really good to see the ending from that. I mean, how things ended with
Yeah,
that, and that things did progress. He did develop a relationship with her, or could,
yeah,
or started a relationship with her.
yep. I agree.
It was good, and even him took notice, right?
Yep. I since I kind of started off with that, like, I just gotta say she didn't have to try to like be mean about it, right? She was just kind of like saying
Right.
you're all this, you're all that, this and that. You don't even fit here and that, and it's like, but I guess you're okay. Like
Yeah,
it's like
it
a
was just
backhanded
weird.
compliment.
Yeah, because like when he did say that, um, what's it called? Like when she did say that to him, like just make sure that she gets like a higher, more confident demeanor kind of thing.
Yep,
Like he didn't really
always.
like had to do it that way too. She could have started with that, instead of the way that she did it at first, kind of thing.
Yeah, I just
Sunset
realized.
and whatever.
Yeah, I realized I skipped over episode 2, but we're just gonna
Oh, okay.
we're just gonna go
Yeah,
along
I
with.
thought so. No, I thought so. I was gonna say, did we even talk about her like saving the
No.
yeah, that was really, really good. How she that's where Mio really shines, when she's knows she has a duty or or plays, and she responds to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
this is all still episode 3, but we can. That
when
is really.
she went into to the dream and everything.
Yes,
Yeah, that was good.
I
It
do.
did.
Yeah, but we can go over episode 2 later. You know, um, yeah, I do like that she did have this like sense of like urgency, but also the fact that Arata
Yes,
does come in and it's like, I'm here, so it's cool for you to like do this. Just know the risks of doing this, right? Because at first it was kind of like the way episode 2 ended was the fact that she was gonna do this, like, no safety guard.
mm-hmm.
At least now in like episode 3, she does have a safety guard in the Arata guy, and yeah, I do like that. We find out how these demons are kind of like coming into play in episode 3, where like people are
Mm-hmm.
ingesting like some type of like blood or potion into them that's giving them that's giving them that demon form,
Yeah.
and it's being done by the gifted communion, I believe, right? Which we found out in episode 2
Mm-hmm.
that they're the ones that are kind of causing this disturbance in the area and bringing these
Yeah, some
demons.
cold people.
Hmm.
Yeah, some people.
And it's it's being led by none other than Miyo's father.
Father. Apparently, the father,
Yep.
the one at the beginning, seems like that's why she would get abused by him too.
Yeah.
'Cause that was his real father.
Yeah. I just
Asshole.
yeah. It is getting like really crazy because the father has some like crazy ability. Um,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but you, I do like that they are bringing this full forward now. Like it's like, okay, you know that Miyo has this ability. Here's why
Mm-hmm.
here's something that's even just as dangerous. This is why the Usaba family is so dangerous, right? And that's the fact that
Uh-huh.
this guy can just like alter any of the five senses, right? And that's like so crazy. Like the the way the episode 3 ends, obviously with the father just showing up out of nowhere, right? And that was so creepy. Like I was like, oh no, this is getting dramatic. I like it, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and no, yeah. I I have like nothing really to say about the girl guard as much. What about you?
No, I thought it was just very cute. The contrast in comparison that they were doing with them, that they're both outsiders or, you know, um,
They're not welcome because they're women. Let's just say
yeah, like,
that.
well, she is not one, but Mia is because she's from that family. Because she, like, even if she would have been a man, she would have been looked down. It's like the family name that it's shunned upon,
Well, for
but
Jinochi, right, the Mio's new friend, they straight up say like the only reason why she's there is because she has like a supernatural ability. If she was
right, right.
if she was a woman, she wouldn't be there. That's what I'm saying. Like they're very sexist there, per se.
Yeah, the military kind, but I'm saying she's an outsider because of the family. It's an outsider. The family is like lineage.
Yeah, for
Like
Mio, right?
yeah, for me, like
Yeah, I agree.
we have known, but we do not know why people are powerful, but it seems like one of them did what they fear of them, they could do,
Yep.
and one did. So that's why they even more suspicious of all of them, obviously, like, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I agree, and I just like. Well, I want to talk about a few of like the key moments from with Kyoka
Mhm.
and Mio, right? In this episode, obviously the launch versus the cafeteria food versus the bento thing, right? Where um she kind of like had like almost regret of packing them lunches after she heard how good the cafeteria food was,
Mhm.
and just him kind of showing like no, I love
That
it.
was cute.
I love it when you make me the lunchboxes. Keep doing it.
Uh-huh.
Really endearing moment. Really like bringing more, showing her like she's not worthless. What she does there is appreciation to what she does.
Uh-huh.
And then the other one that we skipped over from the previous episode, their first kiss.
Oh, that was beautiful. Yes, there is. I fucking loved it. And how the father, noticed that he was in love with her, that he cared for her.
Yeah.
Um, and told him how proud was he of, how happy he was for him about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Aside from them, the only thing I want to touch up on that we since I skipped from episode 2, right?
Hmm.
Mio
Right.
Mio went back to being a maid.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. This people. I guess it's the era. I guess.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
I was just like, but I love that this wasn't like supposed to like her own family, where it wasn't just. It was to the point where it was kind of looking like the old family, but instead of taking it as
Ah,
she's being
I know.
degraded, she's
It
taking
was.
it.
It was kind of looking like that. You're right. It
Yeah,
was.
yeah, but it's just the fact that she spun it around to like, no, I'm gonna use this to empower myself and get close to my
Exactly.
mother-in-law. Like she took that
Uh-huh.
power away from her, which I thought was like, way to go, girl.
And she did it.
Mm,
And I did like how he did ask him to just watch her, watch over her, let
yep,
her let herself to let her do things her way.
yep,
And, and it worked out for her. I'm so glad. I really liked that. Obviously, she earned the respect of all the
Servants.
persons. Yeah, yeah. So Mio. Starting from the bottom and going up.
Yes, I
Like,
agree.
and I like that there was this conversation that went between them three. I think the husband, the servant lady, that like the oldest, about the mother and how similar he is with, obviously, with him, with the son.
Yes.
And that was so good.
Yeah.
And how they both kind of just looked at each other and said, well, my lady, if you already can recognize this, then you can really really help us with
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, like even them, are putting a lot of hope, that, I mean, that's what Mia does. It really is
Yeah.
what makes her like charming in a way, like.
Yeah. I love that about Mio and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's me too.
And
She's just so reliable like that.
yeah. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I do. I guess the
Hmm.
last thing is just that Mio saw uh her father in her dreams. I think, right?
Yeah,
What
right. We did. Uh-huh. She
and
does.
that's kind of like, ooh, why are you leaving us in that cliffhanger, right? Like she wakes up from that nightmare, I guess you could call it, or
Hmm.
dream. It's like when he met her mother or something. So I'm interested in to see where this goes. Like I said, I think in the first time we talked about it, the first episode
Hmm.
just kind of like is uh, Mio having like this premonition that she's gonna start losing
Hmm.
everybody, and I think
Hmm. Of
the father is gonna be like the main cause of causing this rift.
course.
Now that the father's introduced, I can safely say that he is, you know. Um, but yeah, that's all I have on my happy marriage. You?
Well, I have to say that I like the backstory they were giving about the parents and their childhood.
Mm-hmm.
How he was, how does it called, mean spirit already as a kid. The boy,
Yeah.
he was already mean spirit. People could tell that he was a ticking bomb. Quote. And that, but nobody really gave him the care or the attention that needed for that, right? To
Yeah.
avoid, or to, yeah, to help with that. So but obviously they tell us with this story that Mium's mom had like the tranquilizer. She was able to tame him and have him listen and feel. Yeah. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good thing you brought it up because I had completely like this
Yeah, I
forgot
thought
about.
it was fine. It was finally really good to see that. Mhm. See that they Mium's mom more than anything. Mium's history,
Yeah.
and especially dropping the fucking bomb that that the dad is not. The the one that we thought.
Yeah. That was
Mm.
crazy.
See, that was crazy.
Now it like completely contextualizes the entire first season, or like
For real. For real. It really does. It really does make it more sense. Makes them have more sense.
yeah,
But
for sure. But all right, I think that's gonna be it.
my happy marriage, yes.
And you know, YouTube. Um, this is if you guys like hearing us talk, hearing us yap about any anime, come to the Twitch
Mhm.
streams. you can catch us live. Everything will be in the description. So if you continue supporting us, hit the like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we hope to see you guys next time. Bye.
Yes. Bye bye.